something to do with an ass, I think.
No, kind of, but no. It's the thought behind the thought. It's your true motivation for what you're doing. So it's like, hey, come over to my place. Let's watch a movie. Let's Netflix and chill.
And hooking up is the Hintergedanken.
Well, what I'm saying is the Hintergedanken is the truth behind what you're saying, meaning that like we're a facade and no one ever just explicitly says the truth.
Unless you're autistic. Unless you're autistic or something, yeah.
Well, I think a lot of people say they're autistic, but they're really actually just immature or non-compliant. Like Elon Musk, he could claim, "Oh, there's definitely something wrong with me. I definitely have like ADHD and autism. I'm certainly on the spectrum. Definitely on the spectrum." So it's like, okay, yeah, you sound weird, you are weird, and now you're putting all this terminology from the DSM on you. But you're worth $100 billion, and you still want us to accept that you're autistic? No, you're a fucking eccentric asshole.
True.
I mean, and that's my projection. But a lot of people who claim, because it's not, yeah, it's not like you're living in a disability facility where some autistic, woman or some woman who works with autists is like helping feed you and wipe your ass every day. No, you're building and manufacturing Teslas. So stop with your bullshit about your mental problems. You have no mental problems. You're an asshole.
Well, autism's a social problem.
It's not a social problem because that's not what autism is. Autism is when you're nonverbal and you're young and you've got serious problems. But when you're a multi-billionaire at the head of one of the world's biggest corporations and you claim you're autistic, you're not fucking autistic. You're an asshole.
True.
I'm just saying that if I say the word water, did you just get wet?
Water? No, I did not get wet.
It's the Hegelian dialectic, meaning if I tell you I'm autistic and I act antisocial, and what's that other word? Not hamburger disease, but
Asperger's.
Asperger. An Asperger. Isn't that ridiculous of a word? An Asperger? It's like, what's wrong with your son? Is your son okay? Oh, he's got Asperger. He's got an Asperger?
I mean, it's your people who are give themselves a kind of last name.
My people?
Yeah, Asperger's is a doctor.
Dr. Asperger? I thought it was a franchise.
Yeah.
I don't even. Do they even say Asperger's is real anymore? I thought because I think they took that away, right?
No, it's called high functioning autism now, I guess.
Oh.
I don't know how there's stigma associated with somebody's last name any more than it would be high functioning. That it implies that the rest of it is low functioning or retarded, which would be more stigmatizing.
What are your bowel movements like?
Pretty regular.
What, like 7 a.m., 8 a.m.? Because I take one shit a day at about 7 a.m. every day.
Mine are around noon.
Oh, do you take medication?
I take Adderall.
That's what it is. Adderall causes constipation.
That's true. Especially if you're dehydrated.
Yeah. I've taken Adderall before, and man, you really retain your shits.
Not very good for a bottom. That's why I take Metamucil too.
Oh, God. Couldn't even imagine. I mean, I fucked a few ladies in their booty holes. This one beautiful woman that I fucked in her booty hole once, She was like, I was like, oh, that's kind of gross. She's like, you're the one that wanted to fuck me in my ass.
Yes. Oh,
She was so hot. She was like this incredibly beautiful 40-year-old MILF who had like a beauty salon. And man, this chick like really took care of herself her whole life. She was beyond beautiful. And yeah, she got divorced, and her husband was like some kind of French like multimillionaire scammer or something. So she left him because he was committing fraud.
that's true. If you're especially if you're dehydrated. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and I slept over at like her friend's house one night, and we made sweet love, and her friend had these like these African Ridgebacks or something, these African lion killer dogs, which are like Great Danes.
A Rhodesian Ridgeback?
Rhodesian, yeah.
No, that's what was this face has. The Irish potato.
Yeah, that chick was really hot. It's kind of funny because like when you're a 40-year-old woman and you're making love to like a 30-year-old or maybe like a lower 30, like that is technically like the same thing as like a 40-year-old man making love to like a 25-year-old woman. So it's like these 40-year-old bombshells date down because they want a more beautiful man, but they're still dating up because they want more money from another man who they may not even be sexually interested in, but they're definitely interested in their fucking estate.
Yeah, I feel like there's two categories of it, and they never overlap.
Do you think gay is a concept?
A concept?
Yeah, because all words are technically concepts.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I agree with that. Sure.
So you admit you're not actually gay. You're conceptually gay.
You're conceptually straight, I guess, too.
But that's slightly more true than being conceptually
The
gay.
concept is the exclusion, not really what you're doing. Like, the fact that I exclude women is the concept.
But haven't you ever met a girl that you were attracted to and you're like, this is strange?
Yeah, and she's usually a dyke.
But, well, most women are bisexual by nature. I didn't know that until I actually looked at a girl's Hinge and Bumble account. I was like, holy fuck. I almost started crying.
Was she too much for you?
No, she was extremely hot. But what I'm saying is when I realized that so many women are fucking in the background and I can't even get a taste of it, I was like, ah, this is unfair. This is deceptive. And I had no idea that women were all fucking each other in society. And I had no idea.
Well, maybe it's just like a convenience thing. Like they're not actually attracted to other women.
No, I think they want to orgasm. Yeah, it's the nut. They're getting cheap nuts with no strings attached and no commitment. And because it's with other women and there's not a man involved, it's like a shortcut to the nut. It's a cheaper nut.
You just have to be a shorter shortcut.
Listen to this. It's my boss.
We write new rules to make it easier for all workers to join a union. And we are going to build a younger, darker, hipper, fresher, sneaker-wearing labor movement. A movement that is going to be more inclusive and built for the middle class. And we are going to end poverty, wage, work for once and for all.
Hi, Austin. Do you think that woman sounded too shrill to be in charge?
I think you do as well, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not in charge of anything.
No, I'm just saying, you're a skunk little guy yourself, so.
Ooh. Dude, coming in the room with all that negativity, Austin, on that jet ski, bro. Oh, dude.
That was funny.
What a hater.
Wow.
See, I don't dislike gay men, because I think they're very useful and helpful. And I'm pretty confident in my heterosexuality. So, I have no desire to cross over. Like, it would be repulsive, it's not in me to cross over. And just not attracted, and I would rather replace a man with a woman, but I see the value, and intelligence of a gay man. But I think that they're missing the secret sauce, meaning that you can't change who you are or your personality. Like, that's pretty much locked in. But you can do things to essentially improve your life, and it does not matter about your sexuality. Like, that's really irrelevant. It's basically you choose to orgasm a certain way, and the concept of homosexuality, or heterosexuality are just concepts. And that's the whole gender argument, is that it's a construct. But what I'm saying is, regardless of how you choose to orgasm, we all have an opportunity to use neurolinguistic programming for our advantage. And science is agnostic to gender or sexual orgasmic preference. So what I'm saying is, science is universal. Homosexuality is queer.
That shit didn't make any sense. I mean, yes, all of those things might be correct, but tied together does not make any sense.
Well, that's just like your opinion that, it's not weird. But this is what I'm posting on everybody's Instagram now. Like, everybody who's pro Kamala and Waltz, I just write in the comment section, this is weird. Because because it's genius, because when you say this is weird, you make no reference to what you just read. And so it's just like it's just a way to shut the conversation down completely. It's a very funny tactic, but it works. But what the Democrats don't realize is that everyone on the right now is just going to keep posting this is weird, and it's like, then we all just keep posting this is weird. It's really weird.
Well, the Democrats are already doing that. They have the Trump is weird thing.
Yeah, but I'm saying I've readapted it now to just like, whatever sticks to me sticks to you. So I don't think that Trump is going to win. I think it's going to be a total repeat, that January 6th will happen all over again. And this time, like, there will be shootings. There will be, it'll be even worse this time. There will be major protests when Kamala does her inauguration. Like, they will have to actually probably, it'll get really bad. America is not traditionally a politically, violent society, but I think when Kamala and Waltz are installed, you're going to see a lot of people going crazy, because they will realize in their heart of hearts that they are not free, and that there is like a deceptive, subversive shadow government or a shadow organization behind all this, which is manipulating everything. And a lot of people like to say Jews, but I don't think that that's true. I think it's, honestly, this is my opinion, I think it's Skull and Bones. I think that they have to be the most powerful, subversive shadow organization operating. There's no way they would create a movie if it wasn't really real, meaning that, like, it didn't mirror their intention. I don't know any Skull and Bones men other than people that have killed, in war, and I think that makes you a Skull and Bones man. I don't think you have to go to the Yale fraternity to be a member. I think you can join by presenting credentials and say, hey, I want to join, or be an associate. It's like the mafia, because it deals with killing people. I mean, I know that there are.
So you can kill somebody and you're in.
It's got to be a legal killing. You can't just like go kill your neighbor and be like, hey, I want to join. It's like if you're a soldier and you came back from Afghanistan and you have, confirmed kills and you go to Yale, I think the thing is you have to go to Yale. So I think JD Vance is 100% an associate of the Skull and Bones. And I think Kamala is also an associate of Skull and Bones, or Waltz. But Waltz is really weird. Weird is like saying the word like. Like. Hi, Abby. Are you at the grocery store?
No.
What are you doing these days? Are you working now? Because you sound to me like you have less time or something.
Yes, I have this time.
Well, that's a good thing. I'm sure you don't miss the mental health derangement syndrome on this app, do you?
Sometimes. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Is that you?
That's me when I got commissioned an Army intelligence officer.
Look at you.
Fresh little baby boy. I don't even know if I could grow a beard, really.
You're so cute. Wait,
Yeah.
Were you like behaving like how you behave today, back in the days, or were you look very put together?
Oh, I was totally. I mean, I was. I think they were worried about me because I was like, I think I had a reputation of being like a scammer because I created all these websites and I was making all this money and I was like giving business advice to all these military people. But yeah, that I was a yes sir, no sir. That's really all you do in the military is yes sir, no sir, and then you just go with the flow. But they tried to actually shut me down, and then I told them, I was like, go ahead, just like do it. I was like, take it all away, I don't care. And because I took a chemistry class and I couldn't, they wanted me to be a full-time student, and I only had one chemistry class left, and they're like, you can't just take one class, you have to take a full course load of 12 hours. And I was like, show me in the contract where it says that. And they're like, it says it right here, full-time student. I was like, a full-time student? I was like, so you want me to waste my time and my money taking all these courses that I don't need to take? I was like, just go ahead, cancel the contract. I don't care. And they're like, oh, you motherfucker. You motherfucker. And I was like, go ahead. They're like, all right, fine. We're going to make an exclusion just for you. And then they did. And then, then eventually I passed that class and they're like, okay, come on in. We're going to swear you in. And then this was like a special swearing in ceremony that nobody else got to do because I was like a holdover academically. Everybody does their swearing in ceremony together. But because of my circumstances, I got these amazing photos. And this is like my legacy, meaning that no matter how retarded I get, I can always point back to this time in my life and be like, oh, you really think I'm a retard? Well, look at this picture. Who the fuck are you?
That's amazing.
And that guy to my left, he's like a real, American hero kind of guy. But just the nicest guy you ever met. But,
Is he a Skull and Bones fan?
no, he's just a normal American guy. Wife and kids, very nice, very professional, very academic, wouldn't kill a fly. But, you also wouldn't want to cross him because then he would kill you like a fly. But most American soldiers are just good people. They're not mixed up into regime change. They're not mixed up into Satanism. They're just actually like very humble Christians who live modest lifestyles, and they're not, psychopaths. And they don't do all the Instagram. They don't do all the Facebook. They're not addicted to the internet like us. They're just living their lives with their families, raising their children, hoping they stay alive and that the vaccine doesn't kill them.
Are you vaccinated?
On paper.
Oh, nice.
My friend,
I love how you answered that.
yeah, he gave me a Photoshop of my vaccine, and I was like, bro, you really paid off as a friend. I was like, you saved my life. But I wrote a religious exemption letter to my employer. Oh, it reminds me, I got to text my boss and tell her I'm sick and I'm not coming into work.
Why would you do that? Are you actually sick today?
You hear those sniffles? Good morning, Tamika. I am requesting 8 hours of sick/annual leave for today,
Tamika.
Tuesday, August 27th.
What's Jazzy?
This woman sexually harassed me. She called me a man whore. So when they fire me, I'm going to file a federal sexual harassment lawsuit and try to sue the government. I actually don't have anything against her, you know, but she's going to be my victim.
You know, this app is crazy. This app has like the best people in the world, you know. All of us are weirdos. I imagine we come all together. I think it will actually.
But that's the point, is we don't need to come together in the material world. We can just come together through internet telephony. It's the same fucking thing, because when you're with each other, what is the difference between getting in an auditorium with, 100 people or coming on here and just having this direct conversation here, in a place where there's no physical confrontation?
Well, you cannot really, yeah, you cannot really take somebody's house.
Each other in an auditorium.
But the conversation.
You see the entire hallway at one time, and you can't be blocked.
Oh, I see what you're saying. That would be kind of interesting to force everybody off a clown house. Everybody has to go to an auditorium. And then if you want it, wouldn't that be cool to actually do it in an auditorium where you set up all the houses in a gym, and then you just go from, house to house, but in the real world? That would be pretty cool to see clown house, forced into the physical.
Only those who survived until today.
You can have an in memoriam for all of the.
I'm surprised there's not networking groups that use the Clubhouse model to create events where, if you want to open a house, you open a house, and then this is what my house is about. And people just circulate around almost like they're doing trick or treat.
It is trick or treat, though.
Right? It is basically the Halloween model. It's fight or flight, trick or treat. Diogenes really does not like me. I don't know what the problem is, but he's got a great.
The other day you were saying that he misses you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He doesn't like the people that.
He said, I miss John.
He accepted my Instagram friend request on some account. I looked at his shit. I was like, Jesus Christ, it's all graphs. If my memory is serving me correctly.
Yeah.
Okay, my boss just texted me back. She wrote, "Hello, in accordance with article this and section this, I am denying this request as your services are needed in the office. I am directing you to report to the office immediately. You are to notify me upon your arrival to your assigned office." What else does she write? No, that's it.
Wait, what? You can't be sick from. Just say you have COVID.
Nah, it doesn't make a difference. Well, we're doing a copy paste thing now. So I just copy and paste the same message every day, and then she just copies and pastes back that message. I texted my sister. She's like, "Do you still have a job?" I was like, "Technically, I do, and I'm copying and pasting full time now." And then I sent her a screenshot, of the copy and paste game that I've been playing for months now. She's like, that's fucking wild. I cannot believe you're still employed. But the senior manager, he wrote me an email saying that he was conducting a non-criminal investigation into my time and attendance at work. I was like, you fucking idiot. I was like, there's no such thing as non-criminal. I was like, this fucking guy is so stupid. This is a non-criminal investigation? Well, this is just an investigation then, you fucking idiot. But yeah, this is political because I have like a government job. And so they're worried that if, I haven't said anything and I haven't filed any whistleblower complaints, but if they terminate me, I mean, I'm going to go and file a whistleblower complaint. But I'm not going to go to work if Kamala and Waltz win. So like, I'm waiting till November 6th to find out if I should even attempt to go back to work. If Waltz and Kamala win, I will never go back to that office. If Trump wins, I will go back. Maybe. Probably not. But the point is, like, they know that I have no LinkedIn, and so like, if they do terminate me and I sue them, then I can use that position and that termination as the grounds to launch another political campaign for Congress or Senate. So they know, and I'm sure that they look at what I post, and so they think I'm crazy, I'm sure. But nonetheless, people hate the organization I work for. So if I start doxing them, I think that's what they're really worried about, is me bringing shame to the organization by calling them all just a bunch of liars and morons and fraudsters and wasters of money. So, and it's not like I work for it's not like I have a cool job or anything. I don't know, it's not like, I'm just saying that there's still, it's like, I've worked for many corporations and I've embarrassed those corporations, and so they've fired me. And it's the same thing. It's online shaming. Like, I've had to sign non-disclosures saying you will not shame us, deride us, or say anything negative about us on the internet. And we will release this lawsuit, and you won't have to pay all this money. I'm like, okay, here we go. Sign here. Non-disclosure. It was 115 degrees in Chicago yesterday, and it's fucking boiling hot again. Well, today it feels like it cooled off, but my unit captures all the heat. I had to run the ACs my electric bill was $250 last month. I'm almost sure that I have like a Chinese intelligence agent in my basement.
Watching you?
No, he rented my Airbnb. He's like from China. He's like a college student. His name is Dong. I think it's kind of funny. I'm like, doesn't he know that Dong is like the name of a dick? That's actually a great thing. You go out to a bar and you're like, hi, my name is Dong. They're like, Dong? What do you think is a better name, Dang or Dong? Dang.
Hello there. You may be wondering why the pink suit. Alrighty, go have a good day.
And then all you think about is Dawn when you think about Dawn.
Dawn is kind of a funny person on this app because, like, she's not conservative, or she's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, when she responds, it's always, I don't know. She's just like a commentator voice. She's like an NPC commentator. She's like the housewife with no kids. She's got a big voice. I don't know. I love this app. It's kind of funny because, like, in a way, you can't avoid feeling as if this is some type of a breakaway family. There's something about the app because there's so many recurring characters. If you go to X Spaces, it's like talking to people, that you have no context or association or relationship with at all. But here, because you've gotten to know people over the years, um, this is like where you can, I guess, have more fun and play more as opposed to like other social audio spaces. There's like a development within the social audio, space that occurs, or but people just repeat themselves incessantly, and that is the definition of insanity. Meaning that you do the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. But why do people come here and say the same thing over and over again and expect different results? It's because if you don't put new information into your shell or your cup, you are just an echo chamber. So, if you really want to be dynamic, if you really want your life to go faster and supercharge it, you have to essentially break your mold, shatter your shell, and fill yourself up with new information, which the easiest way to do that is through books, not through listening to people repeat themselves on this piece of shit social audio app. Books are the magic.
I just found a library down the street from my house. A week ago. I'm gonna get a library card. Oh yeah, let's see what this says. Action until 6.
Oscar sleeping with Lil Haiti in the room. Looking at your belly. Are you gonna sleep?
No,
You?
no, I already slept.
So sleepy.
Just trying to put in a time off request right now.
I have a coach house on my property, so like I want to put a washer dryer in the coach house and put it in a closet, but to run the piping from the water to the washer dryer and then do all the other stuff, the electric and the drainage and the exhaust. It's like this guy wants to charge me $2,700. The washing machine is only $1,300. So I'm gonna spend $4,000 putting a fucking washer dryer in a house, and the guy who wants to do the work, I don't necessarily trust him, meaning that like he's gonna take the money. I mean, I don't know if he wants half the money up front or what, but he's not a professional. So I'm just worried that he's gonna fuck it all up, cause damage that will require more work, and then he'll just take the money and leave, or he'll just take the money and never do the work. So it's like, but then the other thing is if I call a plumber, like a legit licensed plumber, he's gonna be like, yeah, this work is $3,500, and then I'll be like, Jesus Christ, that's more expensive than this guy. So it's just like, oh, I realize what I'm gonna do. Have you heard of Angie's List? Or there's other ones, but like you upload your work, you upload your project, and then people will like bid or respond. Like you'll get home improvement people, quoting you or coming out to take a look at the work or something like that. Because I did that with my roof once, but that's what I'm going to do today. I realize that. So thank you for helping me tackle my to-dos.
You're welcome. I would go with the guy that's insured.
I came up with a pretty good business idea yesterday. Do you want me to tell you what the business idea is?
Yes.
So, I mean, I don't even know if I want to tell you, because maybe I should just keep it to myself. Well, let me try to prove it, then I'll tell you if it works. Fuck it. Okay, so
Okay.
if you go on eBay, you can buy postcards, antique postcards, for like $1, $2, $3. Okay, cost nothing, but they're really old. They're like 100 years old. So you can type in New York postcard, Miami postcard. Postcards used to be a big thing, and all these collectors out there have all these awesome postcards, which are really great works of art. And so this is the thing. Frames are very expensive. You know, if you go to a shop like a Michael's or whatever, and they sell frames, they're like expensive. So, but if you go to the dollar store, the fucking dollar store has frames for $1, and it's the same size as the postcard. So your total investment on a beautiful work of art is like $4. You could sell that fucking postcard in a frame for $39.99, $59.99. There's a sucker born every minute who doesn't understand, you know. But this is so. What I'm trying to do is like say that I have a gallery business, and so what I'm saying is, if you want to get into the art dealing business, like this is a very quick and easy way to become an art dealer and provide excellent quality pieces of art to buyers in every major city. Today, yeah, it's artwork, and it's an antique, but it's really beautiful. Like I'll show you what I bought, but the flowers, the parks, because you know America used to be great, and so 100 years ago there were incredible gardens, and so they have all these postcards of all these gardens, and people want to decorate their home with flowers. So I'm just saying, from like an art gallery dealer perspective, this is a very quick and easy investment and business to start. You know, you don't have to manufacture your own product or inventory. It's all right there. You just have to bring together the very cheap frame with the very cheap art, and boom, you can more than 10x your investment. I mean, you could sell these little things for $100, $99.95. You know, people will be like, "Oh, this is an incredible little piece of artwork," but people have no idea. It's just sitting there right out on eBay. Just you can do it yourself, but nobody's going to do the hard work.
Hello? I'm ready to go. Abby?
When I was in high school, I used to go to Victoria's
Hey, what's
Secret
up?
and buy their panties for $25,
Hey?
and then I would return four of them for $40.
Oh my god.
Well, how did you do that?
You say I don't have a receipt, and they have these as a gift.
Whoa. Well, I mean, you know, if you would have gotten caught, that would have been technically considered, you know, fraud or theft or whatever. I mean, could have gotten actually in big trouble for that. Meaning that, like, little trouble becomes big trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have like a fear in the back of my mind that, like, basically your house, you know, like Breonna Taylor, etc. Like if somebody doxes you, and I'm talking about like a police dox where they call the police and they say this guy is threatening to kill himself or cause harm to others, they will kick your fucking door in. So that's the craziest thing. It's like no one's ever really safe, because like if you really dox somebody good, you're going to get their door kicked in by the police, because the police just can't help themselves. And one time I got really angry with my dad and his wife. So I called the local police department and I said, "Hey, I want to do a safety check." I was like, you know, I'm a veteran and I just got back from Iraq, and my father has a mental health and Alzheimer's, and I need a safety check done immediately. And I'm concerned that illegal activity is happening in the basement. So the police show up at my dad's door, and then my dad calls me shortly thereafter, and he goes, "Did you call the police on us?" I was like, "Yep." He goes, "Why?" I was like, "Oh, I'm kind of pissed off at you." He's like, "You piece of shit."
Was everything okay?
Yeah, my dad's a cop. They're not doing anything illegal in the basement. I just wanted to fuck with them. So then they uninvited me from Thanksgiving forever. They're like, "We don't want us to ever talk to you again."
How old were you?
It wasn't too long ago. This was like 2014 maybe. So 10 years ago. So 31. I was drunk, depressed, stoned, very, very depressed. And, you know, we've reconciled and made up, and they were like, they were asking me, they're like, "What was going through your head?" And I was like, honestly, I felt like A, I felt like I was white trash. B, I felt like they had abandoned me and that it was all their fault. And in hindsight, you know, this is how the brain thinks, where it just like pins your suffering, your depression on somebody else, and you can't accept personal responsibility for your situation. And, you know, over enough time, eventually I got through all of that and I recovered. But that was probably the lowest point in my life when I actually started online trolling or doxing of my own father and his wife. I was saying that she was going to steal all my grandmother's money. I was saying all kinds of stupid things. But I think it was either to get attention or it was because like I felt like I was going to die. And so I wanted to like, you know, pin it on them that my situation was all their fault, which is totally insane. It was like the epitome of mental health disorder, delusions of grandeur, things like that, you know, totally mentally ill. Lowest point of my life. Drinking a lot, I believe. Can't even remember anymore, but pretty sure I was drinking heavily. You know, relatively speaking. And so that's what I'm trying to say is like, if you hurt people, you know, or you insult them or annoy them or bother them in an egregious, obnoxious way, they don't want to have anything to do with you. And they don't want to have anything to do with you in the future because they remember the past. And I explained all this to them, you know, and they understand. But still, nonetheless, they're like, well, we don't really trust you all that much now. The most amazing thing is I had an interview with the FBI to be a special agent, and they were like, you know, what else is going on in your life, John? And I was like, well, I recently reconciled with my father's wife and my father, and I told them, you know, how I apologized to them and I accepted responsibility, and now we have a relationship again. And I was like, that for me was like a really big turning stone in my life, emotionally, mature, you know, in terms of maturity. And they were like, wow. They were like really impressed with that. So they offered me the job. I'm not in the FBI, but what I'm saying is they offered me the job. But it was during COVID, and I didn't want to go do the workout. You have to go do this thing called the power test, and I didn't want to do it because it was like far away. And honestly, I couldn't even do it. I was in physically not good enough shape. I couldn't do all the push-ups. You have to do like 60 fucking push-ups in a row. I was like, I can't do that anymore. I'm fucking in my late 30s, not my early 20s. Yeah. So that's so fucking. I'm 225, 230 pounds. Like that's like moving fucking 12,000 pounds. I mean, little Haiti, can you do 3 push-ups? Not even 1 push-up. Little Haiti, are you Chicken's sister? Do you and Chicken have the same thing going on?
I think you put her to sleep.
I love that PTR. That's a great fucking piece of artwork, by the way.
That looks like a postcard too. Little Haiti.
So you know what? There's these really beautiful postcards that are from like the 20s. They're embossed, so they're like pressed, and they look 3D. They feel 3D. God, these postcards are so beautiful. But I have a large library now of these postcards. I've been buying them for years, but it just came to me. I was like, why don't I resell these postcards and frame them? That's what people are missing. Is all these postcard sellers are looking at this as like a collectible, and they need to frame it so people can hang it on their wall. But you could also take that image and blow it up and even reframe the enhanced image, or you could just paint what's on the postcard. You know, painters need a library or a catalog to draw from. I couldn't even imagine being Lil Haiti. Like this, like what she does, you know, I mean, it's like she must be on the verge of death. I mean, you may witness somebody actually croak in a room, and then you're like, should we shut the room down?
Maybe. So, I mean, some people have, actually.
Yeah, just recently.
Recently.
Yeah.
Recently, too.
That girl got murdered, right?
Yeah. No, her boyfriend did.
Oh shit.
Hi, Isabella. Hello, everybody. How are you today?
Hello, everybody. How's
What is
it?
that? Thursday.
Why is it double?
I'm just feeling very devilish. Hi, Adrian.
Hi, Steve. Hey, Steve, I want to apologize for calling you an asshole the other day. I'm sorry. You're not an asshole. I'm the asshole. Sorry, Steve.
I accept your apology, and that is very kind of you.
I just wanted to say, though, that Benjamin is actually the asshole of assholes. So,
Oh,
Benjamin is an asshole.
Come on. Jesus Christ.
I'm laughing over here. It's Devilish Tuesday. What do you mean?
On successive days, you have gotten a profuse apology from both myself and Ian.
I'm not sure if Adrian heard the apology, Benjamin, that you gave at the start of Sunday's show.
No, I didn't hear it.
Yeah, I didn't think he did.
Benjamin, though, do you think, though, you're a subversive?
Before he answers that, Adrian, I would like to ask a question because I've been speaking to you for however long. I know at one time you were in the finance and or investment industry. And
No, I was never. I'm thinking. I'm talking out loud. I'm not in any business or industry that could really assist you other than through creative efforts or outreach. I mean, it was all speculative.
I was just going to ask if you currently have an investment portfolio, and if so, what you're invested in, that's all.
So I actually sold all of my stocks before the
Yep.
recent drop, and now the recent rise. You know, I would have been back to where I sold it all, or up even more. But I don't really care. I'm kind of out of the stock market completely. I figured out some businesses where I can get a higher ROI by buying stuff on eBay and reselling it. Actually,
Understand. So currently, you basically have no investment portfolio to speak of.
I mean, I do own some stocks, but not much. Like, you know, a couple $100. That's it.
Oh, a couple $100. Oh, okay, cool. Just thought I'd ask.
But I have had large portfolios, and I have spent a lot of time trading in the markets, buying and selling call options for earnings releases, and building a very well-balanced portfolio of hundreds upon hundreds of stocks. And the biggest performers are literally Meta Facebook. I mean, 400%, you know, in 1 year on Facebook Meta. So, but then there's smaller companies in my portfolio that are down 99%, 80%. And I'm just like, some of these companies will never, ever come back. They're done. And these are hotel operators. Major hotel chains are, you know, almost completely insolvent. And really, it's the banks that own them. So I've listened to the conference calls between the chief financial officer of these mega hotel chains that have thousands upon thousands. They work for the fucking bank.
I have never purchased shots. I have never purchased puts or calls. I kind of understand it, but I kind of don't.
It's like buying or selling a stock on steroids.
Fair enough, which is why I have never purchased a put or a call, and I kind of understand it, but kind of don't. What you may have heard me say before, 1/3 of my investment portfolio is in low risk, high dividend equities. 2/3 of my portfolio currently is
You know, those are very.
Paying about 5.25%.
The money markets are great, but during the '08 financial collapse, money markets actually, you went to zero in money markets. And if it wasn't for federal bailout, FDIC, et cetera, your money markets would have gone to shit because in the fine terms, it straight up tells you that you can lose everything in the money market.
Yeah, but although it's not insured by FDIC, it's insured by that other thing, which has never gone bust. What is that called?
The dollar?
Sound like no. There's another type of federal insurance.
Yeah, SPIC, I think.
SPIC or whatever, anyways, and that's never gone bust.
Yeah, it never will because the Federal Reserve always will bail it out because it's all connected.
Right, exactly.
But I will say if you talk to people.
Already said about 7 years ago that part of the work is from just a myth.
Benjamin, say that again. My gardener.
No, what is the law for our said in the reason? I figure that I read that the Middle East is a myth.
Well, I don't know what that means, but quite frankly, when it comes to my investments, I don't care what this one person said. Yeah.
The myth factory. Talking about investments is always just people telling us.
Benjamin? What about you? You have an investment portfolio.
Technically, I do because I have some required.
I mean, you have money in stocks or a money market.
I don't know what it's in. It's just a retirement.
It's a retirement fund. Okay, fine. So
Benjamin's a federal employee.
well, I didn't know that, but okay.
It's just making up myths. How you guys are making. You guys are a myth factory.
I understand. You have a retirement portfolio, I presume, or of course,
but it's personal and it's boring. It's boring.
I was going to say it sounds like a 401k or an IRA or a Roth
I
IRA.
was talking about money like it's so vulgar.
Benjamin, what do you want to talk about then? Benjamin, then introduce a new topic because I'm pretty sure we can move off of investments if Steve wants to. What do you want to talk about, Benjamin?
I'll talk about anything you guys want to talk about, of course.
You know, the problem is, Elon.
Hello?
I want to talk about electrostatic charges in electricity, but this is not a science one.
You want to talk about electronic charges and static electricity? Okay, let me Google that for you.
Okay, well, if Folklore Present or Johannes wants to come up and talk about something else, they're encouraged to do so. I'm just waiting to get some work. I stayed up late last night, finished all my work. I sent my boss a text this morning, said, hey, I need more work, and she responded, okay. So I'm just waiting to get more work, and then I'm going to sign off in Clubhouse and do my work. By the way, how about this one? Any plans for Labor Day weekend and or Labor Day Monday? I'm just staying here. I don't know about anybody else. Hi, James. Good to see you.
Yo, good morning. How's it going?
Good morning. I'm feeling rather devilish.
Why is that?
Just woke up, man. Just woke up.
Yeah?
Steve, who's the greatest devilish poet of all time? Is it Edgar Allan Poe or Charles Baudelaire?
Well, I've never heard of Charles Baudelaire, so if you're giving me a choice, it would be Poe.
So Charles Baudelaire is a French poet from the early 1800s or late 1800s or mid. Anyways, he was obsessed with Edgar Allan Poe. So yeah, I guess they were alive at the same time. But without Edgar Allan Poe, they say Charles Baudelaire never would have became, you know, who he is today, which is one of the best known French poets.
Got it. By the way, speaking of writers, I saw one segment, I believe, of a 4-part series on cable about Hemingway, and I found that quite fascinating. I look forward to seeing the other 3.
I've been to his house. He's right outside of Chicago. His old house. It's in a town called Oak Park, which is a beautiful town outside of Chicago, where all these mega wooden mansions were built in the 20s and 30s. It was like the elite suburb of Chicago, and the Hemingway house is right there. And next to the Hemingway house is the Hemingway Cafe, or it's like this incredible, awesome 1930s-esque restaurant, where you could actually visualize Hemingway sitting there, eating there, and his house was 3 doors down the street.
How about that? How about that?
I was dating this beautiful blonde, really beautiful, but she had a dog that would piss all over her house, literally, and the house was destroyed. And I'm like, you must have a mental health disorder. Like, how the fuck do you live in a house full of piss? The floor smells like piss, your carpet is covered in piss. And I had to break up with her. I was like, you know, something's not working in your head, sweetheart.
Yeah. I mean, how do you allow a dog to piss all over the house? Nevertheless, live in a house that's full of dog piss. I always wondered why cat piss was so much more concentrated and therefore stinks like 10 times dog piss. I mean, I think dog piss pretty much smells like human piss, but cat piss fucking stinks.
Yeah, I mean, those cakes and all those litter boxes. You know, I was seeing this girl recently. I slept over at her place, and she has a cat. And I was like, where does your cat sleep at night? She's like, where you're sleeping right now. I was like, oh my fucking God. I was like, when was the last time you washed these sheets? She's like, 2 days ago. And I was like, well, I guess good enough. But God, and sure enough, I got bit up by fucking bed bugs or fleas or something. And that ruined the relationship. I was like, you know, fucking, like, can't you just find somebody who actually appreciates a clean house?
Yeah. Well, I do. My housekeeper comes once a week.
It'd be nice to have a housekeeper, but I don't trust anybody. I mean, this is gone, that is gone. Like, I got shit all over my place, you know, rare collectibles and shit. I'm like, you know, bye-bye. I don't even remember what I had. You know, you take something and you're like, you never even knew you had it.
Yep, that's right. That's right. Just pinging a few peeps in. We'll see if anybody else wants to come in.
So I was in the Ask a Christian room a second ago, and they're talking about the devil and the demons and how they can never be saved. And I write in the chat, I was like, you do realize that everything you just said is delusional imaginative thinking, that there are no demons, there is no devil, and that you guys are using your imagination and projecting. And, you know, they vehemently push back. And this is like what Alan Watts says is, you know, show me your ego. Let me taste your ego. Let me touch your ego. It does not exist. When you say the word water, you don't get wet. These are concept words. And I can't understand why these Christian literalists, I think it's just mental health, meaning that they're not happy and they're not either A, educated or fulfilled with knowledge. And so when you have these imaginative conversations about the demonic kingdoms, it's very cringe because, you know, I get the feeling that they're just not happy people and that they can't seem to let go of this communication hypnosis of bullshittery.
Well, maybe they need to reinforce their beliefs by accusing others of not seeing the truth. But, you know, I have said many times before, I find it fascinating that an individual can believe in God, but not believe in the devil, when the God clearly created the devil. think that's documented in the text. No? And if you agree with that, which I'm not saying you do, then it's not delusional to believe in the devil, because I don't think it's delusional to believe in God. And therefore, if you believe in God, it's not delusional to believe in the devil. It's just my humble opinion. Now, on the other hand, if you're an atheist like me, thank you for the thumbs up, baseball. Now, on the other hand, if you're an atheist like me, I clearly don't believe in the devil, because a prerequisite to believing in the devil is to first believe in God.
You believe that you're Jewish.
I not only believe it, it's a fact.
What is the facticity of
The facticity is that my mother and father were Jewish, all 4 grandparents were Jewish, all 8 great-great-great-grandparents were Jewish, and therefore, by definition, I am Jewish. There's your basis.
But the claim of Jewish identity historically goes back to God making a decision.
What does that have to do with what I just said?
Well, I think if you pay attention to the logic, you'll see.
Okay, go ahead and tell me the logic.
Historically, the people claim is that God spoke to Abraham and said, I'll make a great people and chosen people. Basically, God designated the people, and that's the Jews. You don't believe in God.
Benjamin, the distinct claim that Jews use is Mount Sinai, and that revelation, because of the 200,000 witnesses, that gives them the legal basis for the codification of their law or their religion. But Steve, when you say Jew, I think of the word ego, meaning that you could touch a Jew. I mean, a Jew is more real than an ego. But what I think what you're really saying is that you have a cultural heritage, you are an atheist, and that the God claim is irrelevant. But you are a Jew culturally, maybe not religiously, but ethnically, culturally. You see the tradition, you recognize the language, the music, the food, etc. That's Jewish.
Yeah, Adrian, that's absolutely right. Hello, baseball, and hello, Kyle. Hello, Jamesy.
If my mother was a flat earther, my father was a flat earther, that makes me a flat earther.
Flat Earth is not a religion, Benjamin. It's irrelevant.
Yeah, I mean, do you have flat Earth like potlucks? Do you have flat Earth songs? Do you have flat Earth clothing? Do you have flat Earth toys?
Now you're saying being Jewish is a religion.
It's a religion and a culture, but Steve disregards the religion as being tomfoolery, that the worship of something called, Yahweh or Hashem.
Benjamin, are you saying that Jewish is not a religion? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying people groups are a myth, according to Noah Yuval Harari.
Okay, fair enough. So according to one guy, people groups are a myth. No problem.
Just stories.
No, fine. Okay.
Benjamin, look at Steve's PTR. Look at that bottle of tequila. Is the people who made that bottle of tequila, is that a group theory? No, those are real men living in Jalisco, Mexico, going to these plants, extracting the fluids, putting it in this and doing all the stuff. I mean, those are people do. Benjamin, that's why I asked you very early in Devilish Tuesday, are you a subversive?
But I am very fascinated about people who tell myths. I'm wondering about, and I think Steve is very fascinating to me, because he says the myth is a lie, and then he says he is the myth.
No, Benjamin, I never said the myth is a lie. I've never said that.
Well, you said you don't believe in God, right?
This is true. That I've said many times, but I never said the myth is a lie.
The myth of Judaism is
I never said,
God being real. If God is not real, the entire story.
But Benjamin, that's irrelevant.
Well,
Our
hang on,
myths.
Adrian. Benjamin, is that according to you or somebody else?
This is how myths work. I mean, myths are just stories people
Okay, so it's according to you.
Benjamin you must be miserable, Benjamin. What is it in your life that's going on? Why are you so salty and miserable? I mean, Alan Watts says that myth is how you become original, meaning that it's the origin story. And myths are very powerful. And Benjamin, if all you do is shit on everything and offer nothing of interest other than criticizing everything you hear, you're like a spoiled potato chip, you know? I mean, be gone. Toss you to the garbage, man. I hate to tell you that, but like, you're not a freshly sliced orange in a glass of beer. You're a rotten potato chip that's salty, and I want to say, like, you need to be positive. I don't know what's happening in your life, but like, or if you're sick and you're facing the end, whatever your situation is, like, why come on this app and just be a salty, rotten potato chip?
Again, I'm just curious about what it means to be a people group designated by God if you don't believe in God in the first place. That seems to me to have a circularity problem.
So, Benjamin, you think I have a circularity problem?
Well, I do, Steve. I think when you say you're Jewish and you don't believe in God, you kind of, the whole point about being Jewish is that you believe in this ancient story where God created a separate people, and that the people are distinct because God decided they would be distinct.
Well,
so you don't believe
Benjamin,
in God, but you can't believe in God created distinct people.
Benjamin, it is
The whole myth sort of unravels like a sweater when you pull the threads.
Yeah, Benjamin.
So it's just curious to me.
I'm trying to explain it. It is a documented fact that the Jewish religion has double the percentage of atheists as most other religions.
Yeah, I'm a bit confused by Benjamin's characterization.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. And maybe you can correct me on this, because I expect that you're probably more knowledgeable about this than I am over this here. But my understanding is that the Jewish refers to sort of, two things. One is the genetic descendants of Jerusalem, and the other is the traditions and practices of those people, right? And part of the traditions and practices involves, a lot of religious ceremonies and all kinds of stuff like that. But actually believing in God isn't like one of the defining factors. Am I correct on that?
Yes, T. You are absolutely correct. In fact, I'll even take it a step further. That as long as someone's mother is Jewish, even if you disavow the Jewish religion, even if you turn to another religion, Christian, Muslim, Methodist, whatever the case may be, the higher-ups in the Jewish religion still consider you to be Jewish. You're 100% correct in what you said.
So that might be sort of the case, but the nation of Israel...
No.
Monopoly on deciding who is Jewish.
Benjamin, it's not...
Does have standards.
Benjamin, I don't know if you can hear me. It's not might be, sort of. It's 100%.
Okay, so the nation of Israel decides who's a Jew. So we agree?
No.
Oh,
no.
Sorry. So when
That's okay.
Israel
I
decides
accept your
who's a
apology.
Jew,
It's okay.
when Israel decides who's a Jew, they just make the wrong choice. They get it.
No, Benjamin. Israel doesn't decide whether or not Uncle Steve is a Jew. That's not true.
Well, it extends the right of citizenship to Jews.
I'm not an Israeli citizen. I'm not an Israeli citizen.
Right, but people who are not Israeli citizens, who are nonetheless Jewish, they go to Israel and request to become Israeli citizens, and by virtue of them being Jewish, they are granted and entitled to citizenship. But that means that there has to be a standard for what it means to be Jewish. And if you were born Jewish, as you said, and you rejected and become some other religion, the nation of Israel will say that your Jewishness is not sufficient to become
And Benjamin, what do you base,
citizen of
Benjamin, what do you base that on?
That's pretty widely reported.
Okay, so that's just based on your opinion, with no substantiating facts, right? Well, you just said it's been widely. You just said it's been widely reported.
The public debate in Israel about who is it is widely reported on a regular basis.
Really? When was the last time there was this alleged public debate and when they reported? When did that occur?
You want me to go? I'll go.
Yes, I do.
I got you.
Because if you're going to make claims like that, as I've told you many times before,
Steve, you know me. Do I back up my claims or not?
Well, you definitely post links
More
in
than
the group chat.
anyone else on your show, including you, I back up.
Benjamin.
That's your opinion, Benjamin.
Benjamin, you post. Benjamin, you time and time again. Benjamin, you time and time again post links in the group chat to support your claim, but more often than not, what you post in the group chat does not support your claim. Hi Saul, hi Victoria, hi Carranza.
You're going to be more than me, Benjamin? I don't think so.
I'm just inviting everyone.
Benjamin, I mean, if I said that you were the devil, and I have evidence to suggest my theory is 100% correct, and you don't agree with my opinion, how are you going to defend yourself from the accusation that you're a subversive, devilish person?
Well, wouldn't it be weird if I said I was a child of the devil and that I don't believe in the devil? I mean, that would be a weird.
I will say you are actually pretty funny, though, and you're not stupid.
Hi Mello.
Morning.
Good morning.
Benjamin's a lot of things that I've accused him of. Stupid isn't one of them.
I would say philosophically, though, he's an idiot. Because I bet you if you were to ask Benjamin, give your life a rating on 1 to 10, 10 being absolute happiness, joy, splendor, I would say Benjamin rates himself at a 4. I mean, I feel like I'm at a 9 or a 10. I want to be a 10 and I want to fuck perfect 10s. Benjamin, unfortunately, if we were to grade you and give you a rating system, I mean, you're really low in the spectrum. You're not dynamic enough. You're not subversive enough. You're not theatrical enough. Your power or your ability to conquer is low. You do it through inversion, but nonetheless, you don't present anything of any actual substance. You're like a McDonald's cheeseburger compared to a New York strip at a 5-star restaurant. I don't know what it's like serving Coca-Cola and soft cream ice cream, Benjamin, but I assure you, your game is pathetic and weak.
Scenario for whatever it's called, positive toxicity. So, toxic positivity and all that crap. You go wake up in the morning, tell yourself you're happy, go lucky, and everything's good. Shut up and go somewhere else.
Thank you, Eeyore.
I think it's echoing because Steve's unmuted. Yeah. I don't know if that's going to help, but there was some.
Close bathroom door, Steve.
Morning, Victoria. You got Victoria's got the battery in your closet. I do feel. Hey, this picture on my PTR was me flying over the mountains, the Rocky Mountains, like 3 days ago. This was so amazing.
I see Jesus in those clouds.
By the way, Victoria, I also like your battery, Victoria.
I mean, Benjamin, is thermodynamics a miracle of God or a miracle of science? Are those clouds and that light and that view, everything you see on the earth? I mean, is this all just coincidence and happenstance, or is there a divine creator?
No. Again, I just think it's funny that Steve doesn't believe in God, but he believes himself to be defined and his identity to be that given to Abraham by God. So it seems to me like those.
Benjamin, people go to Comic-Con dressed up as Thor. Does that make them Thor? No, let Steve think and say what he wants to think and say. And you may call him out, but to call him out 10 times is pointless.
And by the way, Benjamin, I briefly looked at your post in the group chat, which is from Wikipedia, and I quote the portion of it that agrees with me. Jewish identity is also commonly defined through ethnicity. Opinion polls have suggested that the majority of modern Jews see being Jewish as predominantly a matter of ancestry and culture rather than religion. So the point that me and others made about my bloodline as well as my culture, and this happens with you quite frequently, your post backs me up and refutes what you were saying.
I'm sure it's all there. I think maybe you found the section where it talks about the controversial aspect. So let's say, Steve, for example, you find it to be an ancestry. You assert that it's your mother's ancestry or your father's ancestry or a wee little bit of both. Like, what's the story there?
Well, the story is, and I'm sorry you weren't listening and replays aren't on, because I distinctly said 5 minutes ago that most Jews believe that if your mother is 100% Jewish, then you are Jewish no matter what you do. I said exactly that 5 minutes ago.
So in your mind, Steve, you go all the way back to who is
I go to my mother, Benjamin. My mother was 100% Jewish, therefore so am I. That's all I have to go back.
But to whom do all Jews go back?
I don't care, Benjamin. I only care that my mother's Jewish.
We already distinguished that. It's at Sinai, Benjamin. That's when Jews confirmed that because of the 200,000 witnesses, that's the divine claim. It's a claim based on faith or based on communication, Benjamin. You know, you're just the worst subversive, obnoxious person. You're horrible. You waste everybody's time.
Benjamin, Benjamin, if you want to answer, if you want to argue that my mother is not Jewish, I'll take it a step further. As I said 5 minutes ago, all 4 of my grandparents were Jewish. Now, if you want to argue that my grandparents were Jewish, yeah, I said 5 minutes ago, we go back to all 8 of my great-grandparents. Jesus Christ.
Do you think Jesus Christ was the first Jew? That's an interesting proposition.
Well, I was in the middle of talking and you interrupted me.
Asking you who the first
I'm sorry, what?
Who's the first Jewish person?
I don't know and I don't care.
I mean, you could say it's Adam, Benjamin, Adam Kadmon, the first transsexual God ever created, which became Adam and Eve. Or in your case, Adam and Steve.
Adam was an Ishmaelite.
Yeah, the reason why I don't give a shit, Benjamin, because as I just read in the link that you posted, it doesn't say you have to erase. Why are you interrupting me again? Why are you interrupting me again? Can you not hear me? Can you not hear me, Benjamin, when I'm talking? The post that you put in that I read does not say you have to require to trace your ancestry back 3,500 years. It says based on ancestry. I gave you my mom, my grandparents, and my great-grandparents. That's all I need. Now, if you want to argue and you want to trace it back, then go ahead, be my guest, and report back to all of us.
By the way, the answer to the question is really tricky. The first Jew was Isaac, intern Jacob, intern Joseph, and the 12 tribes. That was the whole point of that, right? problem here is that if Abraham is the first Jew, and Judaism is passed down through the mother, he was also the last Jew.
Yeah, but that rule wasn't made until like the 1800s, only in Europe. So far, the Levites don't follow that rule.
All right, and before we go to Caleb, since Benjamin, and you haven't come out and said it, but it appears clear that you don't believe I'm Jewish. So if I'm not Jewish, please tell me exactly what I am. This is the part where you get to unmute and say a religion.
A religion? I thought it was an ancestor.
I'll ask again, if I'm not Jewish, what am I?
Noah Yabol Harari says that this is
I'm asking what Benjamin says. I'm asking what Benjamin says. Third and last time, Benjamin.
You're just identifying yourself.
And you failed again. All right, so we're going to move him down to the audience, because quite frankly, I got frustrated. Rabbi will get to you in a moment. You see, this is a problem that I have with Benjamin. I like Benjamin. I find that he raises a lot of questions, and he also, believe it or not, encourages me, unbeknownst to him probably, to do more research on my own behalf. Rabbi, good morning. Welcome to Devilish Tuesday.
Good morning. Several folks seem devilish today. I think I came into the room at the right time. I'm here to help, clear up any confusion about Jewish identity and what does that mean and things like that. I'll wait till it's relevant. But it seems like I came in at the right time.
Can I ask a question?
Absolutely, Victoria, and then after you, I'll lay the foundation down. But Victoria, speak as long as you want.
I'm so happy that it's here. Caleb, I had a discussion with Steve's good friend, Normo, a while ago, about my Jewish ancestry, because mine ended a couple of generations back with my grandfather, because his mother was Jewish, and she had 2 boys and 1 girl. And as far as El Normo was concerned, I had said I'm not allowed to be Jewish. Now, as you know, I'm not trying to be anything, but and he said, "Oh, it's not allowed. You're just not a Jew." And I said, "Well, I understand it because my mother wasn't Jewish, but my mother wasn't Jewish because her father wasn't Jewish, I guess his follow here. Her father may have been Jewish, but because all 3 of my great-grandmother's children lived out of the state, only the children of the woman could be Jewish. So my mother is not Jewish, but her cousins are, as far as the ancestry goes. And that was fine. I was playing with Norm because I was saying I'm not allowed, but I have the same ancestry as my second cousins, right? So I'm playing around with this. And as it turned out, somebody else said something about, well, this is a new phenomenon or a new thing that just isn't relevant, right? And so I'm wondering if you could just, before we get into what Steve might be or might not be, I believe he's Jewish, can you tell us where the split came? Because I understand it's relatively recent that the split came because there was a problem with people marrying outside of the...
What split are you talking about? Not seeing.
Well, when did they decide that it was only your mother?
Oh, about 50
There's some issue with it.
About 50 years. Yeah, because mostly for historical reasons that people living in exile, it was easier to figure out who the mothers were than who the fathers were.
Exactly. So what reason why
The sociological reason mostly.
But do you know what the primary difference is between a patrilineal and a matrilineal Jew? I think that's what you're trying to distinguish.
Well, you have to understand, I think, that there's a legal framework in which this conversation can take place, and there is a historical, social, sociological framework. And they need each other.
Wait, Caleb, isn't there a third, a spiritual framework to all of this?
Fine, but that's not really relevant to the identification question.
Really? Because you don't. What if Jew?
I don't think that's relevant to the status question.
Well, I would claim that a third party could make the claim that, based on their education, they could declare Judaism to be their identity.
You can declare anything you want, but that doesn't mean it has legal standing in terms of status or any social recognition in terms of the community.
Yeah, I mean, look at Black Hebrew Israelites. That would be the perfect example.
So Victoria, I think the thing. So the thing is like this. Okay, so for all kinds of good historical reasons, given the state of the Jews around the world for the past couple thousand years, right? There's a question of inclusion into the community, and what happens to a person who's either forced to convert out, willingly marries out, willingly converts to another religion. What's the social standard of that person? And the standard has been to have to sort of go back only 3 or 4 generations, because that's sort of in living memory. I think that's the idea, that you'll have somebody who's either inherited or received, had living memory of when the family was still Jewish, quote unquote, whatever that means, right? And because of the legal framework of only matrilineal, right, or only recognized converts, then you have these questions generationally it's not, oh, my family was Jewish 100 years ago, but my family was Jewish 2 generations ago. Right? Then there's a question of social recognition and legal status recognition. Does that make any sense? I'm trying not to be too much in the weeds, but does that make sense?
I'd like to follow up on this if it's okay, because it goes back to the issue that Benjamin raised, and again, I just want to lay the quick foundation because I am interested in this, Rabbi. So Benjamin, I brought up the point that most Jews believe if your mother is Jewish, you're Jewish, with few exceptions, no matter what you do. I know for a fact my mother is Jewish because I know that my grandparents and my great-grandparents are Jewish. But what Benjamin raised is, Rabbi, how important is it to go back and check the family tree for the mother, and is it important? And if so, how far back do you go? In other words, I can't believe that they would just accept the mother's word for it. So I hope I asked that question appropriately. Thanks.
Yeah. So I think there's a couple things. It's if people are known to the community and living in the community, then it stands to reason people are going to know about each other's families and things like that. So there's just going to be we know, we've met them, and they say they're Jewish and we take their word. Where it comes up, I'll just speak practically as a practicing rabbi, right? A couple comes to me, they want to get married. They say, okay, are both of you Jewish? I don't do weddings between Jews and non-Jews. So I ask, are you both Jewish? Yeah. Are your parents Jewish? Yeah. And I ask a few questions. Do they have a Jewish marriage license? What was the synagogue they were raised in? And usually folks are forthcoming, and they will say, yeah, my father's Jewish, my mother's not Jewish, or blah, blah, blah. And I'll go back to grandparents. That's as far as I will go back in asking those kinds of questions. But generally speaking, if somebody comes into shul, I don't ask them, are you Jewish? At the meeting, that's not amongst the first questions I say. Things that we have a conversation. Hi, how are you? What's your name? Welcome. Things like this.
And one follow-up, and then I'll go back on you, let you guys talk. So, Rabbi, let's just say, it's documented my mom was Jewish, it's documented her mom was Jewish, it's documented that my great-grandmother was Jewish. However, if we trace the lineage back a couple of more generations, we find out that my great-great-great-great-great-grandmother was not Jewish, does that matter, though? Because the community has accepted the past 3 generations as being Jewish. So what happened 5 generations and further back, arguably, is irrelevant. Is my understanding correct or no?
Yeah, basically, operationally, if you could go 5 generations or 10 generations back and you discovered, they really weren't, it wouldn't matter. By the way, it wouldn't matter in the reverse, or in the converse, right? If your family had been recognized as Christians for generations, but you found out that someone on the matrilineal side 1,000 years ago was actually Jewish, that wouldn't matter either.
So, not to add dirt to clear water, but this is further complicated by the fact that Israel has something called the law of return, which basically has different rules for this sort of like creates a divide between who thinks what's Jew. And so what I believe you're talking about, is the traditional Jewish tradition, and then there's like this separate thing about like what Israel thinks. Am I correct on that?
So the Israel thing, yes, it complicates the issue for sure. We should note that the Israeli law of return is written in response and in parallel to the Nuremberg laws, which defines who is a Jew and who is eligible to be convicted of Nazis, which also went with the one grandparent rule. And so in some very significant ways it's in response to that. And yeah, it complicates it because the law of return is not making religious doctrine or religious ruling. It's saying something about entry into the nation of Israel, which is not necessarily only based on someone's legal status. If that was clear. I'm not sure if that was.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then the other thing I wanted to ask was the question got asked, who was the first Jew, and this certainly took me down the rabbit hole. A couple different answers here. If by Jew we mean Hebrew, Abraham was the first Jew. If by Jew we mean of the tribe of Judah, Judah was the first Jew. If by Jew we mean the first person in the Bible to be referred to as a Jew, the nameless Jews in 2 Kings, chapters 6 through 25 were the first Jew. Generally speaking, the term Jew to refer to a person who is of the chosen people of Israel. And with that in mind, Abraham generally is considered the first Jew. So I think that sort of answers the question, but there's some nuance there, right?
Yeah, there's definitely some nuance there, and it depends kind of why you're asking the question, right? I think saying something like Abraham is the first Jew confers some kind of spiritual significance onto the enterprise of Jewishness. If you make it Jacob, it's something else. If you make it Mordecai, whatever, it's something else, right? So I think those have sort of like conceptual frameworks within the tradition of why you would want to say one or the other. And then there's a historical argument that I think is slightly different, because Jews don't call ourselves Jews. That's sort of recent. We call ourselves Israel. Other people call us Jews, and there's historical reasons for that. But you're right, you go down a whole rabbit hole about who's the first.
Can I mention something about Mordecai? I read in the Sefer HaAgadah, it says that when Ahasuerus set out to kill the Jewish people and Mordecai, Ahasuerus was tracking Mordecai, and Mordecai saw these children on the road, and so Mordecai ran up to them and said, what have your children been doing all day? And the kids said, oh, we've been studying Torah all day. And he says, oh, well, tell me some Torah. And so the kids start saying Torah to him from Isaiah or from other, passages, Jeremiah, whatever. And then Ahasuerus gets so fucking angry because Mordecai is so relieved and so happy. And he sees how happy Mordecai is, and it makes Ahasuerus so angry and just furious. So it's amazing how neurolinguistic programming or words of positivity can fill one with a spirit of joy, and contrarily, your enemy, it becomes enraged. So to me, it's a question of anger management or recognizing anger. So I heard Rabbi Laser Brody, this rabbi I heard once in Beverly Hills, he said, if you see a religious person angry, that person is not a religious person. That's basically like a false prophet. And so to me, if you're enlightened, you don't let anything get under your skin. Nothing can make you angry anymore because you're kind of filled with a divine wisdom, which is essentially Torah or positivity or positive neurolinguistic programming.
Victoria, did you want to follow up with something, or are you good, Victoria? Might be in the car.
Yes.
You might. Yeah, there we go. There you go.
Yeah. No, I think that questions.
And by the way, by my own observations, over 95%, if not 99% of all peoples in all religions at one time or another get angry. I'm unaware of anybody that never, ever gets angry.
No, obviously that's impossible. It's talking about anger management or rage, and you know that road rage is a major problem. I mean, I just heard it outside my front door, and I hear it all the time. I live on a major street. What I'm saying is, people say that fear is the mind killer. They love to quote that movie Dune, but really, to me, anger is truly the mind killer.
Sounds like John's voice. Who is Melchizedek?
Melchizedek.
Melchizedek is a guy he only appears twice in the whole Hebrew Bible. Once is in this in the story of the wars between the 4 kings and the 5 kings that Abraham negotiates a truce. Melchizedek is said to be a priest of the Most High. Christians make a big deal out of him because it makes Jesus. They make Jesus into the priest of the Most High instead of in the line of Melchizedek, as opposed to the line of Aaron, because they think it's higher or something like that, more original. Bruce talks about this.
What about the tithing?
Melchizedek is not significant. Melchizedek is not significant in Jewish theology.
Really? What about the tithing aspect?
So Christians use that Abraham himself's giving Melchizedek money, 10%.
Yeah, 10%. It's the vig.
And he's just blatantly called priest of the Most High. It's not a mistake. So who is Melchizedek?
That's
We
you.
don't know. The truth is we don't know. He was probably some kind of
He was a Kabbalist.
No, come on.
No, 10. It's the number 10. 10, not 11. 10, not 9. It's a reference to Kabbalism. It's my opinion. I mean, I may be talking about my ass, but it's my opinion.
He's not a significant character in the text, right? He just appears narratively once. I think the implication here is that he and Abraham share a recognition of the singularity of God of the Most High, right? And that is why there's this alliance and tribute being paid. It's Abraham, right? It's Abraham. It's part of Abraham's reacculturation and deprogramming from his, pagan roots to a monotheistic, viewpoints. Well, we don't really know who he is.
But you don't agree with me that whenever you see the number 10, it always seems to have an allusion or a reference to Kabbalism or Kabbalah?
No. I think the Kabbalist thinks that, right? But I'm not sure that that's inherently encoded in the text. We can talk theologically, Kabbalistically another time. But if you want to argue about textual historical criticism and stuff like that, I think that's more useful to answer these questions than the woo-woo Kabbalah stuff, even though I subscribe to a lot of it.
Well, that's kind of why I think the ridiculousness of the Kabbalah explains everything. I mean, to a Kabbalist, it's the end-all, be-all. And I think, it's just, even, don't you think the Founding Fathers of America were aware of Kabbalistic philosophy or Zohar or a lot of other documents associated?
Some of them, but not by name. They probably didn't know them by name, but they definitely were in touch with some of those traditions. More likely, they were in touch with the Musar traditions and not the Kabbalistic ones. We have some documentation about that, eventually training, what he knew in Europe. But probably.
Brothers are also around Nazis.
Oh my God, that's enough.
They also practiced a lot of Brahmanism in India, had connections to China. So yeah, I mean, the founding fathers were erudite.
But don't you think that came about because of Great Britain and the empire that never set? You know, I have many books, and it's a lot of translation work from English, British writers who took Chinese and Japanese and Indian documents and translated them into English for the first time. That technology or ability to translate and put it into the English vernacular word is so significant. I get the feeling that a lot of the problems on Clubhouse or in America is a result of Americans not having the education or intelligence from India and China to course correct their stupidity.
Well, I think they need education. I don't know that it has to be from a specific viewpoint, John, but yes, they need to.
No, it gives you relative positioning. It gives you more context or reference to your programming here in America.
Worldliness and diversity of experience, you know, but it doesn't necessarily have to be from those particular places.
Well, you're talking about 2.5 billion people. You don't think it's significant? It's Asia, for Christ's sake. The United States is nothing, tiny. We're 300 million people.
During the 13 months.
I'm just saying, if you've never read the Dhammapada by the Buddha, or you've never read the Xin Xin Ming, or Lao Tzu, or Tao Te Ching, or Confucius, or Epictetus for that matter, the Greek philosophical masters, in my opinion, is the Western version of the Eastern thought. You know, they say always go east or always go west. I mean, these religious philosophical systems are essentially identical.
There's plenty of documents here in the Americas. There's the Codex in Mexico. There's writings from Peru and Ecuador. There's writings from the tribes here in the United States, but nobody ever talks about.
No, I mean, I have books on Native American wisdom. It's profound.
Constitution is based on the Great Law of Peace from the Haudenosaunee or the Iroquois Nation. Right? No, I agree with you in principle, but I'm just saying it doesn't. The breadth of knowledge and the depth of knowledge that people have in the U.S. is very shallow, and they need more exposure, but they don't. They get fucking CNN and Fox News.
Well, if you were to live in the shoes of Abraham Lincoln or George Washington, I mean, I've heard stories about Washington where he was shot multiple times, but the bullets never actually penetrated his clothing, and those are facts. Trump got nicked in the ear, and then a couple days later, there's not even an injury on the ear. I mean, I'm not saying that was fugazi. But then immediately after that happens, my father sends me an email about the symbolism of the ear on the right side of the head or whatever it is. And wherever he got that from, I don't know. But there's enough time and religious analysis to ascribe or associate every part of the human body with some type of mystical interpretation. So your right arm, your right leg, your left leg, all these things have Judaic reference. I've seen it. I've read it. I've seen it. But my point is, after enough time, every symbol and these associations, I mean, it's all so thoroughly researched and published from the past couple hundred years. If you go to your local library, a good library, or you build your own library, Kamala Harris and Waltz are so far away from the truth that is, in my opinion, why they present the greatest clear and present danger to this country, because they are so far away from a connection with God. That's my opinion. I may be totally wrong, and who knows, maybe they're gurus, but chances are they are highly controlled Trojan horses, and they can't be trusted with taking ownership of the White House, or essentially being the people who write the checks. That's my opinion.
Adrian, you're trying to control us with mind hypnosis. We're trying to control us with mind hypnosis and linguistic controls.
All communication is hypnosis, and I'm not programming you. I'm merely telling you my opinion.
It's like less loud John trolling. It's like he's biding his time and trying to keep it together longer while he runs the bit out over like an hour or more. But eventually, he's gonna be like, and John's gonna be like, holy shit. Make a bunch of noise and then trying to provoke everyone in the room.
By the way, my understanding is Kamala Harris does believe in God, so the statement that she's far away from God, I don't understand that one at all.
Meaning that she's not an educated intellectual or an academic. She is a superficial, high-class escort.
Let's not engage him. I'd rather talk to Benjamin than Adrian. That's how stupid I think.
Well, I've been talking to you for years, and when I first started talking to you, you were very angry, and I commented on that, and you got even angrier.
Anger is a virtue, dude. Like, stop calm.
I don't know what books you read, but I never read that, Kyle. You're a schmuck.
Well, I mean,
It was that you're a schmuck comment that got you moved down to the audience. I was able to put up and go with everything else, but you're a schmuck comment got you down to the audience.
I want to ask Caleb.
Yeah, you can in a moment. You can in a moment. I want to say hello to Death Hit Me in DC. Hi guys, how are you? Happy Devilish Tuesday.
Uncle Steve, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing well.
Awesome. I'm just recovering from that statement that the candidates that are far away from God are Harris and Walz, and meanwhile, Trump gets a complete pass. So I'm anxious to hear more about. Well, no, I'm not anxious to hear more about that. I'll let Death.
You got it. Hi, Death. Good to see you. How are you? Ooh, I heard greetings, but you're very low. I don't know if you can speak up or not, but that's okay if you can't.
How do you do?
Oh, that's so much better. How am I doing? I just woke up feeling a little devilish, so I decided to open up a popcorn non-replay room. Glad you're here.
Yay.
Yay. There you go. Okay, guys.
That was top content. Should be professors in education.
You know what?
I can't wait to hear their university lectures.
You know what? It's a brief conversation about politeness and respect, and it's always nice to have that in any room whatsoever. But you guys take it away. Just do your best to do one at a time.
But now, if you look that up in the encyclopedia, I think you'll find it. Quick question for Caleb. And this is really honest. I mean, we've been struggling with this question all this morning, right? In a particular example, but it's a question I've been asking Caleb for months. What happens to belief systems in the absence of belief?
I don't understand that question.
Well, I'll take a stab at it. I'll take a stab at it. Benjamin, I said I'll take a stab at it. Without any belief, there's no belief system. So that's your answer.
Can I jump?
I see Joshua has joined us.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Bismillahirrahmanirrahim! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! It must be so insulting. I wonder if it gets him angry. I fucking hate that fucking guy.
The spirit. And then watch this. And this is the stuff that rattles Unitarians. They don't know how to deal with this. In Matthew chapter 4, when you get down to verse 3, I ain't gotta go too far. The tempter came to him and said, if you are the son.
Shuki, I want you to introduce me to someone at Knesset. I want to buy real estate in Gaza Strip now. I want to invest now.
I tell you. Who is it that they are
I want to invest now.
Det är väldigt liksom, sanden ändå.
Det finns ju ett spann så inom den demografin. Så, men det, alltså, det är ju så jävla situationsbaserat. Ett stort problem med folk från Mellanöstern det är att de inte fattar kontexten att så här, ja, på stranden kör du okej med en bikini och på kontoret så har vi inte ens fått byxor. Nej, inte alla. Det här är på gruppnivå. Allt jag säger är på gruppnivå. Jag fattar att det finns undantag.
Så du inte kammar allihopa på en och samma campus?
Nej, men jag måste ju göra en...
excuse me, Gaucho, I hate to interrupt. Do you know what the difference is between a BMW and a porcupine? The pricks are on the inside. The pricks. Oh, that was Adrian Dittman. Fucking Adrian.
You know what I'm saying? We like to
Hey.
once. Shut up before I go shove a cow titty down your throat, you little bastard.
Anyway, so,
Hi, I hate to interrupt, but I'd like to address the topic of the room, transracialism. I am a tri-transracialist. That's a little bit higher than your typical transracial. I actually am a third level tri-transracial. So shout out to me, everyone.
Or making our argument more cogent in our position.
No, we'll get to pick you apart. Pause.
He said, hi, my name is Adrian. I have like a 3-race mixture. And I need to crash out real quick. Oh my god.
Shout out to me, everyone. I'm a tri-transracialist. Are there any other tri-transracialists here?
It sounds like you're trying to trans something else. That's what the fuck it sounds like. You know what I'm saying? Try triple A battery.
You try and prep is what he tries.
I take it there's nobody else trying tri-racialist here?
Bro, whoever initially came up with the prep joke, props to you, because that was a well-executed joke.
Welcome, dear. You're welcome.
Much appreciated.
PrEP is the fastest growing biopharmaceutical injection that the pharmaceutical agents have ever created, and I was recently prepped and I feel great. Are you looking to get prepped? Go to your pharmacist or doctor today to talk to us about PrEP. This message is brought to you by Pfizer.
Now available in anal prep.
What about the oral? What about the oral?
That was funny, bro. I'm telling you this. Y'all ain't gotta sound like Adrian. Adrian can come inside here and troll, something what Io can't do, but he tries to. But at least he does it decently. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you,
I think Io's better. Io makes me laugh, though, with his voice.
Because you're racist.
How's that racist for laughing at his voice?
That was pretty racist, not gonna lie.
No,
Because Io pretends to be a black guy when he does this voice.
Yo, my man.
Oh,
I don't know what you're talking about.
I thought it was the Canadian thing that... Wait, Io, are you Canadian? Is that why your voice is funny to me?
I'm a
Oh, that is... Oh, goddamn it. It is Polish. Io, I can't like you anymore. I can't stand the goddamn Polish. Fuck you.
I can't stand the Polish people either, that's why
I fucking can't.
You do know how Nazi Germany conquered Poland so quickly in World War II? They marched in backwards. The Polacks thought they were leaving.
I mean, you're okay.
That was a good one. That was a good one. I appreciate that.
Polish people were too drunk to even notice what the fuck is happening.
That was horrible.
Drunk.
Yeah, no, my son's father was Polish. That's why I have a beef with the Polish.
They've got great beef, great meats, great sausages.
I like the pierogies, but that's about it.
In Chicago, there's a grocery store near me. For $6.99, they give you a platter of food, and it can last you 2 days. So $3.50 a day to survive on incredible Polish food. These European people are magnificent. We need more Europeans, less Venezuelans.
And carrots. Come on now, they're living off potatoes.
I say we bring in tons of Polacks, tons of Germans, tons of French, and, bring them here and have them cook for us. I mean, our food sucks.
So I'm gonna go to H Mart now. I'll just be at H Mart if y'all need me.
Hey, you in Chicago saying our food sucks? Like,
American food doesn't exist.
You know H Mart the limits now?
They should be
They do?
Like, statewide, yeah.
Oh, hell, bro. Listen, I fucked with an H Mart. Let me tell you something. The good food court, the produce, the beauty product. Let me tell y'all, get your skincare from H Mart.
Man, you could buy 10-pound buckets of kimchi.
Omar. You been to Omar before?
Is that some Midwest shit? That's the H Mart stuff.
It's an international grocery. They're they're everywhere.
It's owned by the North Koreans. Don't shop there. You're supporting communism.
I will absolutely support my northern cousins. No, I don't think they have it in Michigan, but they have one here in my city in Texas, and one in Austin, and a couple in Houston. They're everywhere but Atlanta.
They literally make mochi in the front of the store on those old Japanese wooden hammer presses.
Bro, that mochi slaps too.
Yeah, the mochi ice cream is amazing.
I don't like mochi. Well, it's alright, but
It's a texture thing. It's like boba. It's not for everyone.
no.
It's like transracial ice cream, technically.
I haven't had no good mochi.
Oh, nah, you gotta go to an Asian dessert spot. You'll get some good mochi. Go to a Japanese ice cream shop.
Oh, like we just got one of them lying around.
I forget. Aren't you in Milwaukee? They should have one in Milwaukee somewhere.
They don't have no goddamn Japanese.
They got one in New Jersey.
Ice cream shop in this world. They
I
might
mean-
have a restaurant here that serves it. So.
Here, let me look something up. Let me see if they have it where you are. I'm gonna see if they got 85 degrees in Wisconsin, and if they do, you gotta go check that out. Shut up and let me dream. Shut up and let me dream. Let me dream for you, Kento.
I'll let you drink.
I'm gonna dream that you have one so you can go get some delicious Asian bakery.
We got other shit. We just got a Razor cane. So.
Oh. Okay, what I need to reverse engineer the sauce for Raisin Canes with the Popeye seasoning blend.
Ew.
Shut up! Oh, that poor baby.
They give you basically like dipping sauce for your chicken fingers. It's a chicken fingers business.
Oh, damn, they don't.
Just talking about it makes my mouth fucking water like a Pavlovian dog.
Chicken question. Did everyone here know that chickens have like a perpendicular claw that sticks out sideways and can kill rats in a single strike? That is fun.
Wow.
Yeah, it's usually good when you put it in soup and shit with some carrots.
Well, have you ever seen chicken fighting? Have you ever been to a chicken fighting event in the Philippines where they sharpen that claw and they put a razor blade on it? So they cut the other chicken's throat. It's amazing. Have you ever seen chicken fighting?
No. The dude, that was his own chicken. The chicken jumped out, sliced him on the like inner thigh, like right near his groin. The guy bled out and died.
Wow.
Fun fact, chicken foot is actually Nathan's favorite meal. Chicken paws. They're called paws.
Did you see the video of that white guy in Ireland get knifed in the throat by that Muslim illegal immigrant that killed him? Wow, the same thing like a chicken killing a man.
I think only the roosters have the corn, not the chicken.
Not the hand,
Have you heard of the image of the solar logos? It's called the chicken head man. It's an ancient Babylonian symbol. It's the face of a man in the breast of a chicken. What does that mean in terms of psychology?
It means, my friend, you're going to be sexually curious about it. But I'll support subcategory today. It is. Like, how do you know?
No, the chicken head man represents essentially that everyone has two brains and you're unaware of it.
After talking about 85 degrees, I've decided to get off my work computer and take my baby to go get 85 degrees. I blame Kendo for my big back activities. Fuck you, Kendo.
You know, that work laptop really weighs heavy. It's like a ball and chain.
Mine's kind of light. It's just a little MacBook. It's really nice.
Oh my god, MacBooks are the best. Fuck everything else.
Bro, in the medical field, I think Apple is just the best.
Apple won. They won.
Yeah, it did.
The hospitals look like an Apple store. Like, it's like you
No, dead ass.
right when you're conversing on
Amazing. It's always bitter fruit. Throw it away.
Adrian, adults are talking, and it was yes.
A man is talking. Throw it away. It's a bitter apple.
Sir, shut up before I make
You're a motor mouth.
That's it. I'm gonna make your daddy my bitch. I'm gonna strap him.
You have hyperverbal diarrhea of the brain.
I'm going to fuck your daddy in the ass.
Take your child to the ice cream shop.
Bitchity ass up. I'm going to Eiffel Tower.
Motor mouth.
I am Eiffel Tower.
Hyperverbal diarrhea.
Sorry, get stuck in my strap.
Stop taking the Adderall, sweetheart. Go do yoga.
Stuck my strap after it's in your daddy's ass.
What the fuck is happening right now? Like,
It's called hyperverbal diarrhea of the chillism derangement syndrome.
So basically, what's happening is Adrian's daddy is now a pink booty warrior, and he needs to shut
You don't like it when somebody comes in your house and reverses every stupid thing you say.
Oh, this is Edmund.
I'm not just a contrarian, I'm an invertarian. Does this on purpose? All of you do this on purpose. I'm just here to call you out on your bullshit stupidity.
Yeah, I'm sure you're just freaking out right now.
Actually, I'd like to just go on mute. Lion, can you please tell everyone how stupid they are?
That's right. Go on mute while you scream. Yeah, my bad. Sorry. I was reading a transcript. I was very disappointed at what I was reading.
That's not true. I'm right here. Vote Trump. I'm going to the gym, fatties. I put so much faith and trust in you, Nathan, and this is how you treat me? I loved you, and I've tried to give you all my truth and education from Jordan Peterson, but I don't know why you won't listen to me and mind me anymore. I helped create this house, and all you do is disrespect me.
Where does he stream us?
5 YouTubes, 20 Instagrams, 30 Snapchats, 50 TikToks. You guys are chill. Just go on YouTube right now and type in Chillism Clubhouse Podcast, and you guys are gonna hear yourselves and be like, "Holy fuck, he's been doing this for fucking years! Fucking years! Holy fuck!"
Listen, he's not lying about the 20 to 30 accounts. My next question is it monetized? Like, are we popular?
Yeah, Chillism is a very popular podcast. You guys don't even know it.
oh, that sounds like something just open up a lawsuit. That's fantastic.
Go ahead, sue me. It'll be in the news release that helps grow the brand that you get paid off of. You can suck from the tit if you want.
I know.
Hey, where's that picture of the, like, 30 phones? Where's that picture?
Do you want me to take a photo of my office right now and update my PTR?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, just give me 1 second.
Question is, Nathan and Knowledge, have you ever thought about moving us over to Discord? I'm sure you guys have a great platform over there for this.
As knowledge, they tried and
I think we should. I mean, I guess, like, if you want some good meatloaf or something.
likes meatloaf. They don't have meatloaves.
Edmund, where's the picture? I mean, I'm not saying pander, but do you need like some good paella or something? I feel like that's a lot better than meatloaf, personally.
PTR, PTR, PTR.
It's creepy but interesting at the same time.
Well, there's nothing creepy about it. It's just that, having all these phones.
Kind of creepy.
Well, you hear about it in the news when FBI raids people's houses. They're like, they had 50 cell phones. So I heard that in the news the other day, and I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, if they ever raid my house, they're going to use all these phones as evidence against me.
Well, good morning, Samoa. Good morning, Galaxy.
And then as the FBI agents are going through all my cell phones and private Instagrams and they hear the chillism room, they'll be like, it'll be like a television show for the government. They'll be like, I can't believe it. We funded this, but we didn't even know what everybody was saying.
So when the FBI hears Galaxy back with knowledge. No, it was knowledge and packed up. What do you mean?
I mean, invite Joe B up here because I'm interested on her opinion.
Listen, what we're not going to do is claim that knowledge packed up. The only reason why you guys are saying that knowledge packed up is because you guys are his police officers.
We all know.
You got packed up.
Galaxy, I'm just playing. It's okay.
Why does AdrianDickman.com not work? Can you explain that?
Because you're putting a www in front of it. There's no www.
Concrete, you're braver than me. That shit, I would have thought that was like malware and a half.
So Concrete, go to that Twitter page, and then it has a bunch of other Twitter pages in the bio, and then more Twitter pages and more Twitter pages. And
Yeah, it goes on forever.
Adrian or Edmund here, he has all of those pages.
Actually, Chillism is on Twitter as well. Do you want to see yesterday's Chillism?
Oh yeah, on stream from yesterday.
Yeah, it's on X. Lion is the biggest speaker in the room. His loud mic technique is, bar none, the most toxic, horribly stupid thing you could possibly ever hope to hear in the Chillism room.
Adrian, why do you put your phone up? What's going on, bro?
You could call me or text me. You think I give a fuck? I don't give a fuck. Call me or text me. It's my cell phone number. You can add me on Snapchat. Add me on Snapchat.
Yeah, his real name's Edmund, but he's been on here for a long time, and he has many phones and PTR, and he made 20 accounts. First it was on Instagram, now I guess on Twitter and on YouTube. Well, that, and he also has many Clubhouse accounts, like many.
I don't have, no, those are all been deleted. I've had probably over 40 Clubhouse accounts.
There you go. And just as many Instagrams and Twitter accounts. And he streams rooms. He goes around to different rooms and streams them.
Yeah, I cross stream rooms into rooms as well.
I haven't really discovered the purpose
So
of
you
this.
cross-streaming this?
He dedicates
No.
like a full-time job to it, but that's what he does.
See, and this is what I'm saying. We don't need useless motherfuckers like this. They got the power to grow the brand around it. They're not doing their fucking job. How come you ain't streaming?
Listen,
Maybe he can hire
no, technically I'm doing what every single person here should be doing, but I should be getting paid for it because none of you are even doing what I'm doing.
See, that's what I mean. Knowledge Nathan, you just hire Edmund. You already have all the phones.
Sweetheart, let me tell you something. I put brick and mortar in this bitch. So don't get me started. Alright? It's the only fucking.
Yeah, you didn't put any brick or mortar into this bitch because you don't have a platform. You have no cross communication, no distribution, you have no inventory. You are not a media professional. Adrian Dittman is the only media executive on this fucking app. Galaxy, we can't hear Chalante. Can you mute your fucking mic?
No, he can't. He gotta feel special. Anyway, yeah. I'm on the above. Now what are you doing with it?
I'm trying to monetize it on Google, YouTube, Instagram Meta, and X Video.
X video. Oh, this guy.
It's called the publishing business. Instead of coming here and throwing all your communication into a black hole of destruction known as Clown House, you can actually extract from this fucking app, cross-distribute, and try to monetize. I mean, are you going to come here for the rest of your life to just run your fucking mouth about fucking nothing in these fucking apps? You guys are insane. And I asked Joe Armenia, why do people keep coming back here and doing this? He said, I don't know, but they do. So this is why we keep the app open. You guys are feeding a nothing burger while I'm extracting you and storing you in other parts of the internet for fucking free. It's unbelievable that you guys continue to do this incessantly. You guys are wasting your time. You guys aren't making any money from this.
You're not making any money from this. Blah, 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 blah.
To be honest, he has like 4 years worth of recordings.
Yeah, but how much have you seen out of 4 years worth of recordings?
Yeah, and who are you extracting and how much?
Who gives a fuck? I've bottled you people into bottles. I don't care when you guys sell. I'll let you ferment.
I've never met you, so I ain't even know.
Yeah, well, because he has many different accounts. He probably has like 40 Clubhouse accounts.
All of the recordings are pretty much private, but it's all on YouTube. And it's public on YouTube. Yeah, go to YouTube and type in Chillism Podcast and watch yourself act the fool. Congratulations, you've made yourself into a professional fool.
Let me, yo. Right now.
Go to YouTube and type in Chillism Podcast Clubhouse, Chillism Clubhouse, and you guys are going to listen to yourselves for the first time ever, and you'll be like, oh fuck, God, we're immature, God, we're stupid, God, what is wrong with us?
Question is, does anybody not consent to be recorded?
Does anybody over here in Adrian Dittman's Media University give a fuck about any of your consents? Nope.
None of us consent to being part of it. He made a movie, allegedly, as well. I consent to
Hey, no. Kid, this is so.
Every video I've ever created is a fucking movie. Hello? 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 Hello?
He wanted them, right? He wanted them.
Yeah.
Is it time for me to kick his fucking ass?
Come over here and kick my ass and kick my uncle's ass, Mel Brooks. My uncle Mel Brooks is over here. He's filming another movie about you guys. Mazel tov.
And that's cool. Right. That's all good. He has no views for one. At all. Oh, it's public.
Made you look, made you look, made you look. All communication is hypnosis. All communication is hypnosis. Mazel tov and l'chaim. This has been...
For 4 years, and I have struggled to figure out why.
Because he's a creep. He's a creep. No, him right here.
But
like,
he really does have many accounts of many Clubhouse rooms.
No. He almost was a sexual predator, but it just didn't work out for him. So he chose this lane, right? To where he...
It sounds like you might be projecting your own sexual predation on me. Congratulations, Chilante. When did you go to jail for rape?
And masquerading as multiple different people, right? And so this is why he collects people's personalities, because he's like the...
Because I'm an organizer, a bottler, a creator. You're just running your mouth as usual.
You sound like a thief. Marauder.
That's right, I'm a pirate.
I gave you your first view, and I ain't gonna lie, this shit is fucking weird. You're sitting in the dark room with 3 phones, listening to Clubhouse, and shit.
No, he has more like 30 phones. We need to do
More like 50 phones, maybe even 60 phones.
Yo, Butcher, that was a satanic ritual. How did you get all of them phones? You just go buy them?
Yeah, there's this thing called Amazon and eBay. Have you heard of it?
Hell yeah, I got it myself. Listen, bitch.
This nigga really has 50 phones? That's crazy.
Which phone is like your main bitch though? Like which phone is like your
It's hard to tell. It's so spaced out across all the phones.
Galaxy Note 10, that's what he
Do you do drugs, Edmund?
Yeah, I smoke cannabis, drink beer, orange juice, wine, but I don't do any hard drugs. No.
no coke or no.
No coke, no Adderall, no nothing. No, just I smoke cannabis. I live in Chicago and I buy cannabis at the dispensary and I drink a Miller High Life with orange juice on the rocks. I mean, I'm not a hard drinker. I'm a soft drinker.
Okay, I fuck with High Life, yeah. No, wait, you make High Life with orange?
Yeah, try it. It's like a creamsicle.
Bro, Miller High Life is already like water. That shit is barely beer.
I know, but when you put the orange juice in it, you'll be so surprised. It's the greatest cocktail you've never had.
Yeah, it's women that do that. Cause they feel
It's a Miller High Life screwdriver.
Kendall, I'm not bugging. My Miller High Life is like water. I need like a case of it, you know? No,
Yeah, but that's why you're an alcoholic. You just nip it and you're in a constant state. It's called microdosing ethanol.
There you go. They know some shit.
Yeah, the microdosing is a big topic, and one of the Clown House users, Dr. Jordan Gruber, just published a book called Microdosing. And, they talk about ethanol microdosing and how it can be used medicinally as they used to do in the 1800s. You didn't get drunk on alcohol, you used alcohol medicinally.
So, would you classify a wine spritzer as medicinal? Because you get the high shot.
I would say that alcohol can be used in terms of conscious alteration, and people abuse it, especially the brown liqueurs and vodka and gin. Those are the greatest and most dangerous intoxicants for one's health and mental health.
Yeah, and a handful of YouTube on nigga.
Oh my God, Monica! Thank you for moderating and bringing peace to this room, Monica.
Are you okay? Like, honestly, are you okay?
Are you okay, Galaxy? Because Monica came here to shut you down.
I'm asking you that because you have 30 phones and you record people on Clubhouse. So unless you're not using your phone for farming to blow up social media accounts, then you are definitely into some weird shit. That's fact.
So I think the less we focus on Adrian, the better. So
Yeah,
I'm
so what's the
gonna
time?
I'm gonna offer a bit of white people news.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Angela
Yo. I'm sorry.
Yo!
Angelina Jolie hired a hitman to take her out, believing it would be easier on her family.
That's not real. That's not real.
I really saw it.
It's fake. It's not true. Don't believe everything you see on the internet.
I haven't even given you the story. How do you know? Okay, so the 49-year-old A-lister once opened up about a moment in her life when she considered paying an individual a sum of money to take her life, revealing the surprising question he asked her following.
Wait, Reform UK is the one who they're all putting in prison right now because of free speech. Because, like, a 50-year-old woman who says, I want to bomb the local mosque online, but doesn't mean it, is going to, 7 years jail.
We get that. But the question is, what are they? And I'll tell you this interest.
Yo, are there any far-right parties that you think are far-right?
No, that's what was banned since World War II.
Who banned it? The Jews. It's definitely not banned. Post World War II, the Jews, they engaged in nationalism.
Well, why are you trying to make everything about the Jews? Why are you trying to go after the Jews?
Because we're talking about who won World War II, dude. Bro, he said,
I don't think it was just only the Jews.
What do you mean? They got an ethno state. That's exactly what Hitler wanted.
Who else?
Matter of fact,
got exactly what the guy wanted.
But
They got it.
immediately after World War II,
They want the
immediately
booty.
Immediately after World War II, Israel was like notoriously leftist. They were the first country to like President Israel.
because they're communists, started the Bolshevik Revolution, right? But who else can be nationalist aside from the
That's what World War II was all about. It's about communism.
no one can be nationalist. Nah, but I ain't gonna lie, when they got the Bolsheviks though, it was everybody when they
See, you guys think that everyone in Israel is nationalist, which is not true, and you think all Jews are nationalists. You guys are so fucking Jewish derangement syndrome. I'm gonna go have a Jewish delicatessen sandwich.
Oh, it's not so bad. Pretty ratchet. Yeah.
I mean, everywhere has its spots, overall.
I mean, Houston is probably the most international city in distance that one exists, like, yeah.
I would say the culture's pretty heavy in Dallas.
Yeah.
Like with the parade and shit, I guess I don't know. That seems pretty high. The city, so. But maybe not quite as much as you see, right? Which one do you know better? Which one comes? I guess Houston was the first one to pop off your head.
I mean,
Being,
yeah, I
that was not.
use the word, just, but I do like Texas.
Hey, Soul Snatcher, thanks for posting that link above. That's a great link of a lot of really great documents.
It is, alright.
The Rosicrucian link?
Yeah, there's like 100 ebooks on there of very high caliber books.
Okay, I'm gonna have to get in on it. There has to be what girds your debate tactics and love. You have to really love those people that you're debating. If you don't love them, then you're simply wasting, your time and your energy in regards to what, God would even have you to say to them. You never know that when you can say something that God is actually speaking to the person that you're interlocking with. And so those things have to always be there.
Okay, this is CEO Adrian Dimma.
Hi, this is Tom. Leave you a message after the beep. Thank you.
Hey Tom, this is John in Jefferson Park. Was just wondering if you had a few minutes free this today or tomorrow to chat about the project I want to do. Get your thoughts and opinions or quote. Hope you're having a great day and look forward to hearing from you. Thanks.
Thanks for your call. Please leave your name and number.
Hey Mom, it's John. Great voicemail.
Thank you for calling. The person you are calling cannot accept call.
Because people were taking so long, like, whoa, 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 and then they kept trying to upsell you at the same time on other shit, and you're like, bitch, like, damn, like, this should take 5 minutes, this is taking 15 minutes.
And it already comes back everything?
I don't know. But I got a ticket when I rented the car recently, and I didn't pay the ticket. So I was like, yeah, they'll never be able to, catch me. I live in Chicago. This was in Utah. So fucking Utah mails the state of Illinois, and now the state of Illinois has suspended my license.
Oh, shit. You don't have a car anyway.
I do have a car.
You do? Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's why you would be running into somebody at a gas station.
No. That was not my car. That was California. In Chicago, I have a car. I'm a broke bitch, but, my car is, it's a fucking pain in the ass. But I don't know, I got a 2001 Lexus, and it's like everything is breaking on it. Doors don't lock.
No shit.
Yeah, it's like falling apart. It's so old now. 23 years. But Japan, man, they make good products. I really want to go to Japan.